Because ours is a poor country and we do not want to admit that it's a poor country, we like to use a lot of niceties to refer to Ghana. But the bottom line is that there are a lot of challenges and the government has been trying to intervene in several ways. So we have the Livelihood Empowerment Against Poverty LEAP program. We have several other programs. And then we have the Micro and Small Loan Center, MASLOC, which was set up over a decade ago to support people in the micro sector. But this organization has been very controversial as it has been helpful. On Face to Face today, I engaged the CEO of MASLOC to see how MASLOC has come so far, the challenges here, and how that organization can be dealt with. Is it an organization that is simply wasting your taxpayers' money? That's a conversation on Face to Face. My name is Umaru Sandamadu. You're welcome. My guest is a politician. She's gone to Hajj before. She's CEO of MASLOC. That's the reason we are having this conversation with Hajia Abibata Mahama Shanni. Have I got the arrangement correct?
Abibata Shanni Mahama Zakariah.
Abibata Shanni, but there's Zakariah in there. When I saw the Mahama, I was wondering, are you John Mahama's sister?
No.
How are you doing?
Good. And you?
I'm okay. You were a deputy. You got promoted to be CEO. Congratulations.
Thank you.
How has the journey been like?
The journey has been smooth. Yeah, but of course we can do better.
So you've been with MASLOC for?
Since 2017.
So this is what, 6 years, 7 years now?
Oh, we are getting into the stuff year.
6 years,
yeah.
Wow. Is this something you've always wanted to do while your party was in opposition, or after election the president decided, I want you to go and be a deputy?
As a matter of fact, I never thought of working at MASLOC, but the president decided to bring me to MASLOC as the deputy CEO. Maybe he saw some things in me that he thought I could help MASLOC.
But no regrets, right?
No regrets at all. It's been very satisfying.
So you've had to learn MASLOC as first a deputy and then a CEO?
Sure.
Okay, so what is MASLOC? I mean,
MASLOC.
For a lot of us, MASLOC is that organization that brings a lot of cars and distributes some and gives some to party food soldiers.
Oh no.
What is MASLOC?
In fact, MASLOC, as you rightly mentioned, is Microfinance and Small Loan Center, and we are under the Office of the President. It was established in the year 2006 by then President J. Kufuor. You know, during that time, the issue on poverty reduction was very high, to the extent that within President Kufuor's first term, we went HIPEC. So MASLOC was set up to create jobs, wealth creation, and then for the poor. You know, in Ghana, about 70% of the people are in the informal sector, and ordinarily they find it very difficult accessing our traditional banks. So MASLOC was a way to assist those people to also grow their businesses and to empower their lives.
But if there are a lot of all these savings and loans companies moving through, if you went to Agbogloshi, if you went to Abosokai, you always see these the savings and loans people moving around, giving money, the susu collectors and all of that. The banks are already available doing all of this. Why do we still need a government parastatal to be doing this? Yeah,
with government, some of the things can be regulated. The savings and loans companies going around, some of them, as you rightly, maybe you can recollect that some few years back, it was realized that some of them were not even properly registered. But with government takes care of the citizens, and those people are in the private sector. So it's important for government to find something for their citizens. And for that matter, MASLOC can serve the people better than those ones, so because they are in the private sector.
Do you have a government budget that comes to you, or you have external source of funding? How do you operate as an organization?
For now, with MASLOC, we rely solely on GOG funds. But since my assumption as CEO, I've been talking to other agencies, in fact, international agencies, and very soon we will be very happy to announce that we will get some kind of funding from elsewhere, because we can't continuously depend on GOG.
I see.
Yeah.
So currently, what is your budgetary allocation?
In fact, it was very, very small, 50 million.
50.
Meanwhile, it's
and last year, how much was it?
Last year was quite bigger.
So it has reduced this year?
Yeah, it has. In fact, and
what was the figure last year?
I will say that it is not only restricted to MASLOC, but many more agencies, this time around, their budget has been reduced.
It means the Akufo-Addo government is broke?
The government is not broke. It's a global issue.
Yeah, so
and when you compare Ghana to even the advanced economies, we can say that Ghana is doing great because countries like the UK, USA, and other countries, they are struggling. And Ghana, even in the midst of COVID and other things, and recently with the Ukraine-Russia war, I think that we are still moving on. We haven't had any shortages of fuel. It is reported elsewhere in other countries where people are queuing to get fuel for their vehicles. So I would say that, yes, it's a global issue, but we are on the right path.
What was your budgetary allocation last year, just to put the issues in better perspective?
Yeah, our budgetary, in fact, I can say that from 2017 to now, our allocation has been increased because in the past, MASLOC, what came to MASLOC was not really very huge. But last year, for example, I know it was more than 50 million. Okay. And then, yeah, this year is 50 million. So
typically when the government gives you a budget, then what do you do? Do you already have a market you serve? Do you go out to look for people? What it
is that our fund is supposed to be a revolving one. So ideally, when we give out money, you know, we do cash loans, and we also have the hire purchase department where we buy, where we give out cars, tricycles, and other products under that scheme. When you give out money to clients, they are supposed to repay, and the repayments, with interest, but minimal. The percentage is 12% per annum.
For every loan?
For every cash loan in MASLOC. But it is interesting to note that when we came in 2017, the interest rate was 24%.
So you reduced it?
And then we reduced it to 12% just to lessen the burden on our people.
I see.
Yeah, so it's 12% per annum on cash loans. And when it comes to the higher purchase, it's 6% per annum. That is even very low.
So government gives you 50 million, then what do? You immediately start ordering for cars?
No, that's not how it works. You know, before your budget is approved, you would have indicated your activities. These days, we do activity-based budget. So definitely, you have to go through whatever you have put out there for your budget. So money is spent according to what you have budgeted for. We don't do any impulse spending or out of budget spending. Yeah.
So let's look at last year. What did you do? What did you spend your money on last year?
There
was COVID, all right. So
last year there was not much activity at MASLOC because you know, from 2020, since COVID, there were some kind of exemptions, like for our clients. Some clients, for example, took loans and then they had more months grace period to pay back. And then in the absence of a CEO for the year 2021, what we were focusing more was on administrative issues because the appointment of the CEO came in September 2021. So I can talk from September 2021 to now what we have been doing. But largely 2021, there was no much activity at MASLOC.
So what's
because
the focus?
There was no
what's the focus this year?
The focus this year, for example, you know, as I said, we have different products. We have the cash loans, and the cash loans, we have microcredit, and then we have small loans or individual loans. The microcredit is simply group loans. And how it works is that we have 5 to 25 people in a group. Minimum number of people, 5, and maximum 25. And usually we have 3 people who will coordinate the activities of the group. We have the chairman, the secretary, and the treasurer. These people are supposed to coordinate the activities of the group. And when it comes to requirements...
Could be a group anywhere?
No, not anywhere. For example, if people are dealing in certain type of trade, for example, you go to the market, there are people who do tomatoes, there are people who do onions, and others in different trades. They have to be doing the same type of business, and in terms of location, they have to be located at one place.
So you can have 25 tomato sellers in Agbogloshi, forming one group?
Forming one group.
Okay.
Yeah.
Then they will have their leaders?
Yeah, those leaders will be chosen by them. Of course, they will have to have a constitution of the group.
Also, it's an association?
And then a meeting place as well. Yeah, so when we came in 2017, the group loans, the maximum amount one could receive in a group was 500 Ghana cedis, and then we increased it to 1,000 Ghana cedis.
So 25 people come together, at least, or at most 25, at least
most
5
for
people.
Now.
So let's say 10 or 15 people come and they say they want a loan from MASLOC. The highest you can give them is 1,000 cedis.
No, that is for that products. We have
I'm
different
saying
products.
That's for the group one.
Yes.
Even if they were spare part dealers and they need to buy stuff.
So in that case, those can apply if you want anything more than 1,000 Ghana cedis. Then you don't qualify to apply under the micro credit scheme. So you can do the individual loan, for example.
Okay, wait. So how many? I mean, a group that is taking a loan of thousands, what can they possibly be involved in?
It depends on the type of trade. As I have mentioned, someone who is selling this perishable goods will appreciate it, and it will be very useful to the one. Other people who think that 1,000 Ghana cedis is not enough, they can go for the individual loan, and that's where I was coming to.
Okay, so tell me about the individual loan.
So with the individual loan, any amount more than 1,000 Ghana cedis to 20,000 Ghana cedis, if it is a business, we will expect some registration documents of your business. But if you are taking it on your name, at least residential address, you have a TIN number, and then you have a bank statement or pay slip, and then a bank statement or pay slip, as I have mentioned, then you will need a guarantor who can guarantee for you. That is from 1,000, anything more than 1,000 to 20,000.
So if I have a
and
shop
beyond,
if I have a shop in Tudu, I sell electricals. If I come to MASLOC and I say I need a loan of 15,000, this is what I have to do. You'd give it to me, but these are the conditions.
So definitely you bring an application, you state the amount that you want and the purpose. So once we receive the application, the next steps will be for us to visit your business to ensure that whatever you put on paper is what it is. So the appraisal, appraisal will be done. And once you meet the requirements that we need, and then we are able to authenticate whatever you put on paper, then we can go ahead.
And that one comes at an interest of what, 12%?
12% per annum.
Okay, and the group one too is 12%?
Yes, please.
12, okay, and so how
all the cash loans are 12% per annum.
And when am I supposed to pay back?
So right now, the maximum number of years that we can pay is 24 months. You know, it's a microfinance, so we don't do long term.
If I took 15,000, I'll start paying in 2 years if I wanted to.
No. 15,000, it depends on the amount. 15,000, at least within a year, you should be able to pay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
But any like huge amounts, we can extend it to 24 months. That's 2 years.
So let's move beyond the individual loans. What other?
So the individual loans, as I have explained, after 20,000 Ghana cedis on upwards, we will need a collateral, and the collateral will, it depends on the amount of money that we want. Definitely, whatever collateral you want to use, the value should be more than how much you want from MASLOC.
Okay.
Yeah, so at my level as CEO, I can approve up to 200,000 Ghana cedis.
At MASLOC level?
At MASLOC, at my level as CEO of MASLOC. Anything from 200,000 to 500,000 cedis will have to go to the board. So we don't go beyond 500,000 Ghana cedis for now.
That's what you can give to, and this can be a corporate organization or an individual.
Yeah, in the past we supported GUTA, AGI, you know, those are all businesses that we have supported. Individuals can apply, and then associations like GUTA and AGI, that we have helped in the past, they can also come and then, I have
seen a story that said you stormed Kufuor because some 10 million of our CDs had been lost in loans that you gave out. That was...
In fact, I saw the heading too, and Kufuor wasn't the first place that I visited. And as a matter of fact, I embarked on national tour, and the essence was to engage stakeholders, our clients who were owing, and then we had some kind of interaction. We pleaded with them to pay back because a lot of people use COVID as an excuse not to pay, but I think that things have normalized. So I went around the country, and then I sent a passionate appeal to our clients.
Why are you sending an appeal? If the people have defaulted, don't you have? If someone defaults with MASLOC, what are the
so I had to do that because we're just coming out of COVID. COVID is still there, but of course, it's not as serious as it was. So, for example, businesses might have slowed down because of that. So it was just a reminder to the people that yes, we've had this grace period and the grace period is over. It's now time for us to repay. But of course, we have processes that we can take our money. But it starts with that passionate appeal. Failing that, we can use those processes. For example, we can send demand notices, and then when they are not heeded to, we can take them to courts and then prosecute people.
So you said, according to the story, you spent 16 million in Koforidua, or that would be Eastern Region? That
was 16 million cedis that was sent to Koforidua from 2017.
Not Eastern Region?
Yeah, Eastern Region, not Koforidua.
And you've so far got only 6 million. 10 million is sort of lost.
Exactly.
What's happening in
it's
other regions?
It's not lost. I won't say it's lost.
Well,
it's
not cash at hand.
It's not recovered, but we are going to recover. And that was why I engaged them. I went to the markets. I spoke to the market women. I engaged their clients, I engaged stakeholders, and then, yeah, so it's the money that we are going to recover. It's not lost.
It's not used for, you didn't use it for the elections?
Not at all.
What about the other regions? What was the situation?
So, for example, as I went around, the regions, every region and the amounts that they received.
So Eastern Region has 16?
16 million, and then we have 10 million outstanding, which we pleaded to them. When you go to other regions, for example, you go to Ashanti region, for example, we had over 20 million. That's almost 23 million. And for some time, they have been doing very well so far as recovery is concerned. But of course, when COVID came, every activity at MASLOC slowed down, and any other place that you can think
about. How much did we recover from Ashanti?
From Ashanti region, right now, we have like 11 million Ghana cedis outstanding to be recovered from there.
11
you
million?
Go to, yeah. So you go to Northern...
And this is between 2017 to 2022?
2021. We haven't added the old loans from 2009 to 2017.
There are existing loans like that?
Yeah, we are doing them simultaneously. But the focus was from 2017, as at the time we assumed office. From 2009 to 2016, there are loans that we are also recovering, and some people are still owing.
So Ashanti, 11 million. What about Northern and maybe Greater Accra?
Yeah, Northern region, they have, those three regions put together. I think that I don't have my figures. If you can give me. I don't want to quote figures that are inaccurate.
Do you have any
but they are not definitely up to 20 million
for
the three regions put together.
So when you say three regions, you're referring to the traditional
Northern region, Northeast, and Savannah.
Oh, okay, there are three
before the separation.
And you don't know what is defaulting currently?
In fact, for the regions, when you put the three regions together, Northern region, Savannah, and Northeast, the amount of money we sent was like 13 million Ghana cedis together.
Okay. So Greater Accra is the most populous of the regions, and I believe on your tour you've also done Greater Accra. How much money have you sunk in Greater Accra?
Yeah, so Greater Accra received 19 million Ghana cedis, and what they paid was almost 7 million. So we have over 12 million outstanding.
But these are becoming serious then, because it's almost like what you have out there is more than what you have.
Yes, and that is why we are embarking on that agenda. We are doing aggressive recovery.
We are
because
losing money.
The money from here is not a gift. It's not for free. And anyone who took any facility from MASLOC knows from the onset that those are not gifts. So, yeah, we have brought in some reforms that will enable us recover effectively.
Are you not becoming a scheme that is bringing us down rather than raising us up? Because if since 2009 you've had debts that you are yet to collect and you're still giving out loans, and it's almost like you are engulfed in
so
loans.
To some extent, if nothing is done about it, but right now, thankfully, I am doing something about it. In the past, the kind of things that we are doing right now, if those were introduced much earlier, I'm sure the story would have been different, because for now, regional managers are given targets for recovery, and they know that every month this is how much I'm supposed to recover. Even though they haven't met the targets yet, but some regions that were not doing much, in the month of January, for example, After Ashanti region, it was Northern region that came second. And in the month of February, Northern region recovered more than Ashanti region. So now you can see that even from the time, from when I did the national tour to now, there is some improvement on recoveries. When you talk about our higher pitches, that is where we have the vehicles, saloon cars, urban buses, tricycles.
I'll come to cars, but I want to know, so if you keep giving loans and people are not paying, why do you keep giving? Why don't you stop giving and say, let's wait until we recover everything?
So for now, that is what we are emphasizing. Our emphasis is on recovery for now.
So have you stopped giving loans?
Well, we can't stop giving loans entirely.
But you can't be giving loans when you
There are some who have paid. There's something we call repeat loans, for example. So if someone comes to MASLOC to take a facility and you finish paying and you come back to ask for a loan, there is no reason for us to deny.
Okay.
Yeah, so but there are case basis.
But you currently have loans that have defaulted since 2009, for instance.
Sure.
And these people are not standing trial, you are begging them to pay?
Yeah, so that's why I'm saying that it starts from somewhere. This is a passionate appeal.
No, but you should have moved long away from passionate. By now you should be in court or have them at the police station.
Yeah, that is why I'm saying that I've been in this role for like 6 months. So let's see what happens in the coming days, because definitely there's some kind of improvement. I told you in the first quarter, the improvement on recovery was, even though that wasn't the target that we were looking at, but at least it's better as compared to previous months.
Is it the case that because you have given these loans to party supporters, you are unable to claim them? Because if you claim them, there will be political repercussions.
That has always been the misconception.
Now it's proven, because since 2009 you can't collect money
always
back.
say that MASLOC, it depends on the party in government that we give facilities to. But I think that MASLOC was set up for Ghanaians, and once you are a Ghanaian citizen from 18 years to 65 years with a sound mind, you qualify to access. When people come here to apply for loans, we don't really ask for party ID cards, but what we ask for is a national ID card.
Officially you don't, but unofficially you do. Okay, let's look at duplicity of roles. We have MASLOC, we have the Youth Enterprise Agency, we have there's a new one, GEA, Ghana Enterprise Agency. Then we have the youth task that has been started by this girl. All these issues, how different are you from them? Yeah,
so for example, we do different things, even though at the end of the day, YEA, for example, they don't do financial something, they do youth development. When you come to GEA, they do skills development. And recently, they've also started giving out loans to people. But with MASLOC, as I explained earlier, our target is a pro. So when you come to GA, for example, they emphasize more on small to medium enterprises. So right now, with the kind of act that GA has had, they will go beyond what MASLOC is doing, because we are a microfinance and they are targeting small to medium enterprises.
So currently, how much money do you have out there in people's pockets that you have not been able to?
So again, I will talk about, we have over 100 million to take.
100 million nationwide?
We have over, nationwide, over 100 million Ghana cedis.
That's twice your budget?
Yeah, for this year, sure. And that's why
that's an indictment
and that is why
on the office and on yourself.
Well, I don't think so. I don't think. Yeah, you have the right to say what you feel like, but I don't think it's an indictment on me personally. Like I've said, 6 months into my role, I'm doing something about it.
But these are these are loans that have been defaulted, right? These are defaulted loans. These are loans that have not been paid back.
Yes,
and this is different from loans that you have given out that you're expecting.
So when we talk about loans, you know, I mentioned the vehicle hire purchase department. So they are all part of what we are mentioning. We have cash loans and we have the vehicle hire purchase. So all of them are part of what we are talking about.
And do you have a target how much you expect to recoup by the end of this year, for instance? Yeah,
for example, you know, Mr. President's page some few weeks ago, it was put on his page that MASLOC this year will disburse 64 million Ghana cedis. Out of that, 36 million Ghana cedis has to come from recovery. So more or less, that is the target that is given to us as MASLOC, and that is why
you can't give loans.
And that is why I have been so focused on the recovery since my assumption as CEO. And like I'm saying, there are some improvements I wish we had done this much earlier than we are doing now. But of course, we are not leaving the issue as it is. We are doing something different, because when we expect different results, we have to use different approach to achieve different results. Yeah.
This is Face to Face on City TV. Yeah. My name is Umaru Sandaman. My guest is the CEO of MASLOC. When we come back, we'll still talk about the loans. So the cars that have been purchased and not given out, what is the situation with that? What's the relationship with the GPRTU, the cars that they brought for GPRTU that never were accepted? We'll talk about that. Plus the political side of things. She wants to be member of parliament for Yendi. She failed the first time she tried last time. Mahama, the late vice president's son, defeated her. What steps is she taking this time around to recapture that seat, if she can at all? Don't go away.
City TV is live on DSTV. Go to channel 363. On GoTV, access City TV on channel 182. On a digital TV, please press the menu button on the remote control and run a new search on your TV. Take note that without an antenna, you cannot access City TV on your television. City TV can be accessed on a free-to-air digital box like the GoTV and StarTimes box. City TV, it's your world.
You're welcome back to Face on City TV. My guest is Mrs. Shanni Zakariah. She's the CEO of the Micro and Small Loan Center, MASLOC. We're looking at the scheme generally and how it appears you are running the scheme aground. I'm not sure, but 100 million in loans over a period of 10 years, that's a problem. Yeah,
it is a problem, and that is why, like I have said, my focus as CEO is to recover at least more than 50% of those loans.
Are there people you have arrested because of this?
No, we haven't gotten to that yet. But when the need arises, we'll see how we can go about it to recover. Because for the scheme to be sustainable, we need to recover those loans. And as I mentioned, it's a revolving fund. The fund is a revolving one. The more people are able to pay, the more we can help others. There are so many people out there who have also applied, and then they need assistance from MASLOC. So we want to recover from those that are defaulting, and then we can impact as many lives as possible.
You have current cases in court, even though it's not you involved directly, but your former boss is here. How is that case traveling? And
the last
I've seen publications that the sureties are nowhere to be found. There are claims that the suspects or the people who are the accused persons are not showing up in court. Is that frustrating MASLOC itself in any way?
Well, this is a government. What I know, the last time what I heard was that the former CEO, there was this. I don't know whether it was a judge who said she could be tried in absentia, and since then I haven't really heard about anything. But what I know is that whenever there is courts for MASLOC, our lawyer attends.
So you still follow the case as MASLOC?
Yeah, we do. We haven't left it.
It's not the Attorney General's department that is doing it?
It's the Attorney General's department. But it's not MASLOC directly.
Okay.
So that is why I'm saying it's government. In addition to MASLOC, there are other agencies that there are some trials are ongoing. So yeah.
Let's talk about your cars. You bring cars in and give them out as loans to who?
To clients. For example, we have commercial drivers, and we also have people who want to acquire the cars for their personal use. So how it works is that it's a higher purchase. So for example, when you bring the cars, the total value, the initial deposit for anyone to do will be 10% of the total value, and the rest of the money is spread in installments within 5 years for the one to pay. So right now, for example, we have the VWGOL, those that are parked outside.
I've seen a lot of them outside your office.
Yeah, and we are currently disbursing. No, we are disbursing them. It takes a process You come in with an application, you are given a form to fill, and certain requirements are asked for. So once you meet all the requirements, that's when you go ahead to do the initial deposit, and then the car is released to the
Do you get a
people.
request for the cars before you import the cars, or you import the cars and advertise and say, please, we have cars, come and take us?
No, for example, like I'm saying, the vehicle hire purchase, apart from the cars, we also do tricycles. We do right now, for example, we have hair dryers and we have sewing machines and all of that. So we know that the cars are things that help people, especially commercially. It's not everybody who has cash to go to a garage to pick a car and pay. So in order for us to help empower these individuals, mostly the youth, we bring this kind of initiative for them to be able to pay, and then at least they are not paying cash, they are paying something small, and then they are doing installments. That way they can work and then pay. Yeah.
So these are cars that have to be used for taxi and so on?
Taxis, but some people buy them for private.
Okay, so
and
I
most,
can
for
buy
example,
a car for
some people who are salaried workers, they can buy and then they will give us. Of course, you know, when you are giving, when you pay the initial deposit, you are supposed to give some post-dated checks for at least 6 months to 1 year. So there are salaried workers who can come and then pay, and then maybe arrange some kind of standing orders with their various banks.
The small cars, the only
MASLOC.
cars you bring in, or you bring big trucks?
We brought oven buses in the past, and then
for GPRTU?
No, for the GPRTU, those ones were bought by the then NDC. But when we came to power in 2017, the president had to come in to subsidize those to the GPRTU.
Have they been
But
cleared?
sadly, they are not paying.
So
they are not paying at all.
But they've taken the vehicles?
They've taken the vehicles, all
paying.
right. They are not paying.
Have you brought in commercial buses since then yourself?
Yeah, oven buses. We bought some oven, 100 of them.
As in Trotro?
Yeah.
Have you distributed all of them?
All of them are distributed, and then they are paying for individuals who are interested.
I see. Okay. Well, how many cars do you have as in defaulting loans? In
terms of defaulting loans, like I've said, the GPRTU, when we came in, all the cars they had bought, GPRTU, the buses were 100. We had the Avios, which was 150, and we had the Sparklights, which was 100. So we inherited 250 vehicles. And then I remember my immediate former boss also brought some 100 Almera Nissan, and then 100 oven buses. And before he went, they had already requested for 300 of the VW that you have seen outside. So currently we have just the 300 that we are disbursing right now.
You still have cars that you have parked that you are not disbursing. What is the problem with that?
No, that's what I was telling you, that it's a process. All those that you have seen, people have applied for them, but not until you meet the requirements and the right things are done. We just don't disburse. We have to follow the procedure. So as and when someone finishes the process, it is released to them.
Do you not have cars that stay in your garage for 3 years at least?
No, we don't.
More than 1 year?
There was a report of cars being abandoned on the Spintex Road. That was totally untrue. And they were referring to these VW cars. As at the time they made those allegations, we hadn't even taken delivery of them. So we couldn't have abandoned them. How do you abandon something that is not in your possession?
So you don't have abandoned cars?
No, we don't.
You sure?
Yes, for now we don't.
But you have these small cars you have outside. When did you bring them?
They are not abandoned.
When did you bring them?
We brought them in January.
January.
Yeah.
And when do you expect them to go out?
As and when the processes are done,
they are being released. Do they not get devalued if they keep staying in?
No, because like I'm saying, it's a process. So as and when one is done with the process, it is disbursed. So if you had come here some 2 weeks ago, you would have realized that there were a lot more here.
So a lot of them are going
out. Yeah.
What about the tricycles?
Over 100 of them have been disbursed.
What about the tricycles and the hair dryers and the sewing machines?
So they too, they are in the warehouses as and when they are applied for. And the same process that I've explained, they are also disbursed.
Okay, so currently how many cars are unaccounted, or how many cars have not been paid for, which have been taken by individuals?
It will be difficult to say how many cars, but what I know is that when, like I was saying, out of the amount that I mentioned that people are owing, 69 million cedis has been with the vehicle hire purchase, and it's not just the cars, it includes the tricycles. And then in the past NDC time, they also bought some tractors, outboard motors, and all of those. So these are all parts of the money that I mentioned. So for me to say that how many cars are unaccounted for, that would be a very difficult one. We talk about the recovery, and this is how much is outstanding, and how this is how.
Give me two reasons why MASLOC should continue to run as a scheme.
MASLOC should continue to run as a scheme because I think with the new direction that we are going on, we are very hopeful that we are going to do better than previous years, because like I said, just last quarter, the improvements on our recovery is something that we are very happy about, even though we haven't met our targets. So we are bent on doing the right thing. We have the positive attitude, and then we are going to make MASLOC work.
So that's the direction.
Yes.
What is the second reason?
The second reason is that there are a lot more people out there who need our assistance, and we are going to every corner in the country to assist them. As we speak right now, we've opened offices in the newly created 6 regions, and then we have offices in the districts. We are making MASLOC more accessible to people than before, because talking about pro-poor, these are the people who need the assistance, and we are going to make it possible for such people to better their lives.
What would you say to a critic that says you are just an organization that is engaged in wastage?
Well, like I said, people have different opinions. For all you know, the person may not even know what goes in here. But I can tell you that a lot more people have also been impacted. In every organization, you have positives and negatives. Of course, right now, with regards to the recovery, we can say that the negative outweighs the positive. But it is something that we have resolved to do better. And in the coming days, I think that the MASLOC that we've known in the past is going to be a different MASLOC.
This is Face to Face on City TV. My guest is the CEO of MASLOC. Let's venture quickly into politics now. You want to be member of parliament for Yendi. You tried once, you failed. You have already indicated you want to go again. Why?
Well, I don't remember indicating I want to go
again. The Daily Guide has quoted you in an interview.
I was misquoted.
On Bewa TV.
I was misquoted, and I did a rejoinder to it. You know, our party has a code of conduct. And they haven't made open nominations for parliamentary aspirants. So for now, as we said, the party hasn't opened nominations for parliamentary aspirants. So as to whether I will go or not go, I cannot determine that until nominations are open.
So that publication that said you contest 2024, which you spoke to Bewa TV.
I never said that. I was misquoted, and it was deliberately twisted. You never said that? I didn't say that.
But will you run for 2024?
That's what I'm saying, that let's wait until nominations are open. For now, I can't commit until
Let's talk about the constituency. What are the issues in Yendi, and how do you reckon they can be addressed?
The issues in Yendi, I think it's a very simple issue, in the sense that in the last few weeks, the kind of sense that I see on TV, I remember City TV showed a video of what was happening, Metro TV and other media stations. It is a simple matter that can be resolved, because coming from Yendi is a constituency.
Let me say that we are referring here to the
Yendi constituency, our local politics.
MPP local elections, that's what you're referring to.
Yes, I'm referring to the local MPP politics in Yendi.
The polling station.
Yes, growing up from Yendi, they've always had their way of doing their politics, and which has worked for them over the years. Everybody knows that even before we got other constituencies to be MPP constituencies, Yendi constituency was the constituency that delivered a seat for MPP consistently until the year 2008. And we've always had our processes. It's consensus building, and any form of democracy that practices consensus building is good. Our party is a democratic party. Before whatever nominations were open, they came out with party guidelines. and the guidelines were very straightforward. Other constituencies have gone by the guidelines, and some have failed. Why should it be the case? If a party comes out with the guidelines and people just disregard the guidelines, I expect that there are certain sanctions that should be applied. Because if we are a democratic party, everybody has an equal right. Nobody has a right more than the other. In the case of Yendi, how do you build an album when there was no election? The party guidelines says elections. And like I've said, Yendi has a way of doing their politics. So even before the guidelines came, they had a constituency executive committee meeting, and they agreed that all the old polling station executives were going to be maintained. And the newly created ones, which are 37 polling stations, making a total of 185 people. That one is something that they will have to discuss further to see how they go about it.
Who disregarded these guidelines, and where are they getting their power or authority from?
For me, I don't think anyone has power or authority from anywhere once there are party guidelines. Nobody is above the constitution of the party.
You have issue with the regional executive, don't you, as Yendi constituency?
Yendi constituency, I think that they don't have issues with the regional executives, but they expect the regional executives to do the right thing and to be fair in whatever they are doing.
There is a war of words between the regional executives and the constituency executives. The constituency executives are saying the regional executives have forgotten about them or has looked the other way until problem emerged.
Yeah, so as I was explaining, when these things happened, petitions were written, first of all, to the chairperson of the elections committee. The composition of the elections committee, by the party guidelines, they said a chairperson of the council of elders or his rep, a chairperson of the patrons or his rep, and then other officers automatically who are supposed to be part of the committee. In the case of Yendi, we had 2 council of elders on the committee. The rep for the patron, who was chosen by the chairman of the patrons, who is now the member of the council of states, Alhaji Amadu, was not admitted. The constituency chairman, who is the landlord of the constituency so far as the MPP is concerned, a meeting was held and he was not there. So the meeting for the committee, for example, they had agreed on a venue where they've always had party meetings. But that particular day, when the meeting was supposed to start at 8 o'clock, according to the constituency chairman, he called members of the committee. He wasn't getting them until 10:30 that he received a call that they were somewhere. And where they said they were having their meeting, according to him, was for an NDC person, hotel. So if we are having our internal issues, but something as important as elections committee, then you will not find any venue but to go to your opponent's hotel.
But that was just hotel.
He said, according to him, he said he wasn't going. But eventually when he went, he was denied entry and some people had to force open. They got to the committee, the other members were there, and then I don't know what happened. They got up and that was it. Since then, there hasn't been any sitting as elections committee. And only for you to see a register flying on social media purported to be the polling station executives album. We are not in a banana republic.
So currently you have not had elections in Yendi for polling station executives?
Not at all.
So you don't have polling station executives?
Not at all.
This thing you're discussing, this confusion, is it not simply a cold war between you and the member of parliament?
For now, where I
sit, a proxy war?
No, I don't come in. There are constituency executives who also want to go for election, including the constituency chairman. For me, like I've said, they haven't opened nominations for parliamentary aspirants for me to even come and say I'm going or not.
But you still have loyalty.
So if I'm talking, in the case of Yendi, I'm talking as a key stakeholder of Yendi and not an interested party. And I have been in Yendi and I know the gains my late father made for Yendi constituency. The party knows the history of Yendi constituency. People talk about Yendi constituency has been a stronghold of the MPP. How did it become a stronghold of the MPP? My father was the first MP for the area in 1969, and he was Deputy Minister for Agric. Buze's regime. 1979, he came as an MP for PFP. And consistently, throughout his life, he labored for the party at the local level and even national level. Yendi, there has always been peace in Yendi constituency. Yendi constituency, we never lost Yendi constituency until 2008. That tells you a lot. My father died in 1997, even before President Kufuor became president. In his lifetime, we never lost Yendi. 2008, we lost it. And we had a vice president who came from Yendi. We lost it. Yeah, so when people try to put politics as if some people are more important than others, I think things have to be put in perspective. These polling station executives who were removed from the album, the party should go and do an analysis on the electoral areas, those who recorded the highest number in the general election. How can someone work for you at the general election and then the person will be removed from the album without election?
Who can fix the problems in relation to this electoral matter? Since you do not, or not you, but the executives, they don't think the regional executives can solve the problem. Who can solve the problem?
This is an issue that is simple. Did you go by the party guidelines? If you went by the party guidelines, why this? If we had gone by the party guidelines, we wouldn't be where we are.
Who can intervene and solve the problem? That's
right now, there is the Alternative Dispute Resolution Committee, and the members of the committee, and the chairperson especially, Honorable Cecilia Dapa, is a very fair and firm person that I know. And the other members that constitute the committee are very respectable people who are principled, and I trust that they are going to do the right thing.
But when do you hope to have elections in Yendi?
For now, as it stands, if there is any election, I don't know whether there will be any election, because to the best of my knowledge, we don't have an album. So, but because the album wasn't done per the dictates of the party.
I thought your album simply says that any card-bearing member at the polling station is qualified. Is that not what your album simply is?
No. Like I said, every constituency has its dynamics.
It's not a national...
Yendi constituency had agreed that they were going to maintain the old polling stations.
But can you do that?
So it's either they maintain or they go for election. Okay. In the case of Yendi constituency, they didn't go for election, and yet people are removed from the album. How unfair that? How unfair can that be? You know.
This is face to face on CTV. My guest is someone who wanted to be a member of parliament for Yendi before. When we come back, we'll talk about the damning report that the CDD brought out about her campaign in the last election. She's not told me officially that she'll be running for 2024, even though there was a publication which she has denied. We'll find out how we can address other challenges, so poverty issues and water in Yendi, and what role she can play as someone who is in national office. Plus, if she ever plans to run, why she will be running against the former Vice President, Sandongwawe.
City TV is live on DSTV. Go to channel 363. On GoTV, access City TV on channel 182. On a digital TV, please press the menu button on the remote control and run a new search on your TV. Take note that without an antenna, you cannot access City TV on your television. City TV can be accessed on a free-to-air digital box like the GoTV and Star Times box. City TV, it's your world.
You're welcome back to Face on City TV. My guest is the CEO of MASLOC. She once ran for the parliamentary ticket of the NPP in the Yendi constituency. She did not do that well. Subsequent to that, the CDD's Corruption Watch came out with a very damning report, and it said that she, at the time as Deputy MASLOC CEO, took advantage of her office using the state agency's resources to induce delegates in Yendi. It says, according to the report, Hajia Abibata Zakariah distributed 1,000 of state money under the MASLOC loans to each delegate in her constituency. That's 1,000 cedis. She is also alleged to have distributed 3 bags of NPK fertilizers to each of the delegates in Yendi. That is the reason that the MASLOC is struggling, isn't it? You want to give the money to your delegates to vote for you.
You know, first of all, I want to say that I wish I were not discussing CDD, because whatever happened, yeah, you said damning reports. MASLOC, as I said, we give funds to people in different constituencies. And Yendi, it was Yendi's turn to receive funds. I, as Deputy CEO at the time, was there when the disbursement was ongoing. The Yendi constituency wasn't the only constituency that I went to supervise the disbursement of funds to clients. I had gone to other constituencies. So the fact that I was running for parliamentary election in Yendi constituency did not stop me from helping the people who so applied for the funds.
Except that you were helping them on party lines.
It wasn't on party lines.
Assuring you your votes.
No, and they said all delegates. We had 630 delegates at the time, 670 delegates at the time in Yendi constituency. When the disbursement was done, I'm not sure the number of people who received the money were even up to 400.
But you got votes over 300. You got 314, is it?
No, I got 210, and
okay.
then yeah.
Yes, so 210. That means you've given
but
a lot of
before disbursement of funds to MASLOC, I had a chart of things that I had done. When you talk about employment in the Yendi constituency, among the three of us who were aspiring to be parliamentary candidates, I offered many jobs to the youth. For example, the forestry afforestation program.
Youth in afforestation.
Yes, I was able to get 745 for the youth in Yendi. So if I talk about delegates being 600 and so, and of course they are elderly people, and you give 745, it even cuts, it's more than even the number of delegates. In terms of security services, I got fire service 5, I got immigration 2, I got prisons 3, and then other assistance that, for example, the LEAP program, I was able to get over 400 for people who are not even delegates.
But if even as
so
deputies,
talking about empowering their lives and even scholarships given out to students, I did all of those things outside MASLOC. The only benefit that they stood to benefit from MASLOC, other constituencies are benefiting, and because I am going for election, Yendi should be left out. That is so unfair to the constituency.
Even as Deputy CEO, you have been accused of this, this underhand dealings. Now that you are CEO, it means that we should be worried that you'll be spending more money on people of Yendi and say that, oh, they also deserve to benefit, even though we know that you're passing the back door to campaign.
You know, when we're talking about money sent to regions, there is no constituency in Ghana that did not benefit from MASLOC, and definitely Yendi should not have been left out. Whether I was here or not here, Yendi also would have benefited anyways. In the northern region, for example, the biggest, in fact, the amount of money sent to northern region, Tamale Central received the most, followed by Tamale South, and then Sanargu, even before Yendi. So when people come to talk about me using my office, I was a deputy CEO. Apart from my salary, I didn't have any privileges under MASLOC. So how could I have used MASLOC money for my campaign? Because if those are beneficiaries from MASLOC, yes, they applied for the funds just as other constituencies applied. So, in fact, I know that when you are in a seat, what you are supposed to do. I can't use MASLOC to go and then run my campaign. The campaign that I ran, there was no CD of MASLOC in the campaign that I ran in Yendi.
Where did the money come from?
Of course, it's my family savings. And of course, when you are going for
you took your family savings going around for election. That's suicidal.
Yeah, of course, there would have been some help from maybe here or there. Okay. But I don't have the permission from whoever helped me to mention
their name.
Yeah, so, okay. Yeah.
do you think Yendi is currently being properly represented in Parliament?
Well, we have an MP in Parliament. As to whether it's properly represented, I can't tell, but I know we have an MP.
As an indigene of Yendi, do you feel you're properly represented?
Well, I cannot say. It's up to the people of Yendi to tell.
What do you pick on the
And
grounds?
if you are properly representing your people, you shouldn't be afraid of elections. Yeah? Because if you are very convinced that you have worked well, then your work should show in your election.
Is he afraid of elections?
So the attempt to steal elections, it shows that you are not working.
Is Aliyu Mahama attempting to steal elections?
Why won't we go through the proper party guidelines to get the album established?
Is she the one responsible for that?
I can't.
Is he the one responsible?
Your TV station had videos of that. As to whether he's responsible or not, it is in his favor. Yeah.
So you think that he has a hand
He sits on the committee.
Yes.
He sits on the elections committee.
So is every other member of parliament, according to your
and
party
all the
guidelines.
9 members on the committee, with the exception of the elections committee person, are his people. So it's one-sided.
Do you have a good relationship with him?
I don't have any problem with him.
When was the last time you met?
Well, I think some 3 weeks ago.
So your supporters.
That was around soft March.
Okay.
Yeah.
So your supporters are not at each other's throat over.
At all.
Okay.
And I'm not a party to whatever is happening in Yendi. Let's get that straight.
Let's
get that straight.
Okay.
And let's put it in perspective that there are constituency executives that worked for the MP to come to power with all of us. We all came together, put our differences aside, and then worked for the party.
Okay.
We are patriotic citizens. So when executives help you to achieve whatever it is, and then you become an MP and you sideline those executives, you are bringing other people to come and contest them. And then you are doing whatever you want to skew whatever in your favor, then it's not fair. I think the party should not sit aloof and watch what happens in Yendi. I am very emotional when it comes to Yendi because I know what my father did for Yendi.
Okay, let's leave it here for now. Thank you for speaking to us, madam.
Thank you very much.
So that's the CEO of the Micro and Small Loan Center, also ran once as parliamentary candidate for Yendi. She has not given us an indication if she will run again, but it looks like she will. I'm the one who is saying that, not her. So the party, please don't take her on. My name is Umaru Sandamado. This has been Face to Face on City TV. Thank you for watching. Stay blessed. Stay safe. Bye-bye.